Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Pikmin. We finished up quite a lot in the Forest Naval. So today I decided, you know what? Let's knock out the Forest of Hope in a single day. Let's knock it all out. And I do that actually in this part. I wouldn't recommend doing this on your first playthrough whatsoever, or really worrying about doing that. But I ended up doing that, more so because I played through this day numerous times actually, so I have a pretty good idea on what the route was going to be. I first off got 100 blues, because now that I actually have blues and raised them up in the last day, today I can now work on the other side of that bridge that I wanted to work on beforehand. But that thing I mentioned that's kinda cool but also really annoying about Grubs, as you can see right there, yeah, they're upending some of my bridge work, which on the one hand is kinda cool, on the other hand, that's very annoying, very annoying. And the fact that female Grubs can do this, yeah, now they're a little bit more threatening, and I'm sorry, but now y'all are gonna get it. Y'all didn't kill my Pikmin before, but now you're gonna upend my bridge work? Nah, not happening. You're dead too. You gon' die. Now that those vermin are dead, I can have my blue Pikmin work on this side of the bridge. Now you might be asking, hey, your Pikmin can go in the water, so why don't I just grab the ship part, which is the Sagittarius, I believe. Well, the reason I can't is for some reason, when you try to carry it back, the Pikmin decide to not go through the water, even though these Pikmin, you know, can breathe underwater. For some reason they decide not to, and you have to get this bridge done, which is why I wanted 100 blues in particular, so that way this will go by insanely quickly. So, yeah, kind of annoying if I'm gonna be honest. And as you'll notice right there, that Bulborb wasn't there in that spot before here. There was another Bulborb that was a little bit further to the right of where it was, that was in front of our path. The reason I wanted to get everything done in this day in particular is that the Bulborbs have not respawned. After a specific number of days, enemies will respawn in the areas that you've been to, and as days go on, more enemies will actually start to show up in some areas. So the fact that none of the Bulborbs that I killed beforehand showed back up again, yeah, that's why I want to get this done now and today, because I don't have to kill any other Bulborbs, and I can knock the last 3 ship parts out in a single go. Anyways, the Sagittarius, you would think it's not a required ship part. Well, guess what? You're wrong! It actually is. Yeah, of all things to be required, this little gemstone, which is a very nice gemstone, don't get me wrong, but the fact that this is required, yeah, I have to question what's Olimar's idea of survival here. No offense, but what the heck is your ideal survival? This is required, and if you don't grab this part, you're not going to be able to escape off this planet. Yeah, I don't really understand the logic behind it. I really don't. At the very least, it is a cute little bit of flavor text that, yes, Olimar is actually a family man, and he has a son and also a daughter, because the other ship part that this is also connect to, the Libra, is actually from his daughter as well. So that's quite nice. And we only need one more ship part before we can go to the next area. So that's really good. And in the next part, considering I knock out the rest of these ship parts, we're going to be going to that next area after this. So that'll be nice. That'll be quite nice. But now that I don't need the rest of my blues, I decide to put them back in. I decide to get, well, 60 blues now, and make the rest of them red, because there was a wall that we could destroy with, well, not bomb rocks this time, but with Pikmin, but the problem was that it was in the water. Now that we have blues, we can actually destroy that gate. And unfortunately, remember when I said there'd be quite a bit of waiting? Yeah, this is going to be one of those times where there's really not a lot we could do. I could have gotten some yellows and maybe got some bomb rocks to make this go by a little bit quicker, but I ended up not doing that. And yeah, while this wall isn't going to be that bad, the darker bone walls, I guess, again, I'll say, oh, it takes a good long while. Even with 100 Pikmin flowered, it takes a really long time to take them down. That's why usually when I have the chance, I usually take them out with bomb rocks. But when I don't do that, it ends up with a lot of waiting. And even here right now, there is quite a bit of waiting here, quite a bit. You will notice the difference of how fast these walls go down when we get to Pikmin 2. You will notice the difference. It's like night and day when comparing the two. It's crazy. But for now, I guess I can also go into a little bit of how I also got introduced to Pikmin as well, which was partly through Super Smash Bros. Brawl as well. In, I want to say 2009, I think is when I first played the game for myself at my cousin's place, and then I played the game properly for myself in about 2012, 2013, and I never knew really much of Pikmin, and I never really liked playing as Olimar in Smash Bros. Heck, now in Smash Bros, I still don't like playing as Olimar personally. I've seen he's been really good in competitive circumstances, like insanely good in Ultimate, especially when Ultimate started out. But I've never really liked playing as him personally. Though I will admit the whole Pikmin gimmick is quite creative, if I gotta say anything else on that. It is quite creative how they use the Pikmin, especially for his up smash in Smash Bros. 4. I really like the reference to the winged Pikmin in Pikmin 3, even though Olimar isn't exactly playable in Pikmin 3, but that's a story for another day. We're not even at Pikmin 3 yet. We're not going to be at Pikmin 3 for quite a long time. But finally, after this wall has been broken down, we have a boss over here. The Armored Cannon Beetle. It's going to fire a rock at us, so make sure you throw a Pikmin when it gets ready to charge up. It'll start to, I guess, overheat, and then you can throw a Pikmin at its back. Typically, this thing can be one-cycled quite easily. The real danger is that if you don't throw a Pikmin at its blowhole? I don't know what to really call it, but anyways, if you don't clog its Jesus Christ, just if you don't clog it up, it's gonna fire a rock, and the rock will crush any of your Pikmin that are in the way. That's what I meant to say. Blah, blah, blah. Though, now that I've gotten over the fact that, I just can't speak English whatsoever, we're gonna get this part back, and we're gonna be taking that Armored Cannon Beetle back. So, that boss is really not one that's really difficult, I find, as long as you stop it immediately. It's a bit tricky to one cycle, but once you get the timing down, it's not too bad. I honestly find it's pretty easy to do. But yeah, so far, getting these two parts hasn't really been too bad. So, you might be wondering, what was I so worried about? Why I really want to get this all done in one day without having to worry about the Bulbars? Because, no offense, we've gotten 2 parts down, and we're only about halfway done with the day. Oh boy. Oh boy. The next part coming up, well, I'm not looking forward. But for now, more importantly, now that we've gotten the radiation canopy back, we now have 12 out of 30 parts, which means we can now cover a wider area. Yeah! So as I've been saying, yeah, everything's going pretty well. I'm putting some Pikmin back and getting ready, so what exactly do I need to be worried about? What's this thing that's so bad? Well, we're about to probably fight my least favorite mini-boss in this entire game. Probably one of my least favorite enemies in the entire series. I really don't like Wollywogs, but I think I hate these enemies even more. Even more, in my opinion. But we'll get to that in a moment. And I made a comment earlier about how Bulborbs can be a little difficult to deal with. It's strange that now I've been looking back at all this footage. They've been pretty easy to deal with, I found. I don't know if it's just because of bad luck, but I'm thinking if the whole thing of the leg strategy doesn't work, you just mash the A button like a madman and make sure they're on their back. And I think the only reason I find the regular Bulborbs harder than their quote-unquote tougher counterparts is that these guys are a lot smaller compared to their counterparts, which, again, we will see later. But it's crazy to me that I thought these were super difficult, and I've kind of made them look like a joke in this playthrough, which is kind of weird if I'm going to be honest. Funny in a way that, of course, it's like, of course I say this is really difficult, and then it's incredibly easy when I do it on camera, and I can do it very well, better than I probably could do when I'm off camera. But you know, I guess that's just how it goes when you're filming for series and stuff like that. But this puzzle right here, you gotta have a bunch of blues to get here. If I was playing the Wii version, I could kind of break this puzzle because of how aiming works, but unfortunately, I can't really do that. So I kind of should have noticed the signs right here. The fact that there's this narrow passageway. By the way, if you try walking with a group of Pikmin, your Pikmin are going to guarantee to drown. I guarantee you they will drown. It's really annoying, but okay. So far, like, I have to just kind of throw Pikmin, so not that bad. Then I'm trying to find these other Pikmin, and I found out they went inside the cardboard box for some stupid reason. So I'm just trying to get them out, and I'm losing very, very precious time. Very, very precious time. It's pretty much the reason I didn't go and kill those Bulborbs that were sleeping, because I really don't have the time. So I have to just go around, come back, and then throw those Pikmin to the other side. So yeah, a bit of time wasted, but can't be that bad, right? It can't be that bad. What could be so bad that I'm really worried about time? You know? Well, as you're about to see, this is what's so bad. Meet the Burrowing Snagret. And there's two of them, but you see the star over there. This one right here, to the far right, this guy's gonna be our target. The really annoying thing about Burrowing Snagrets, as you can see, they'll go into the ground and then they'll come back up. They have this bite attack, which is very devastating, and once a Pikmin is caught, it is dead, and they can only eat 3 at a time. So thankfully, it's not that bad. What's the problem, you may ask? Well, as you can see, I'm trying to wait for it to spawn in. What you're supposed to do is wait for it to get stuck in the ground and wait a little bit, then have your Pikmin latch onto it, and then immediately quick kill it. The problem is I get insanely unlucky in this fight. Insanely unlucky. I'm still pissed that I got this unlucky in this fight. Alright, again, it's just not getting stuck. Look, it's just normally just coming out the ground like it's nothing. And you might say, oh, it's not that bad, you know? You might get a little unlucky with it. Yeah, the problem is, I don't exactly have a lot of time to be getting unlucky. So the fact that it took almost 5 or 6 attempts before I actually could get an attack in was really annoying. But thankfully, I was able to get the quick kill, and it drops the part, and it drops a bunch of pellets, which I really don't care about because I want the part. But oh no, I thought my pain and suffering would be over. I thought it'd be done. But no, when I grab the part, the Pikmin decide to go to the other 2 Snagrets and get eaten. And they're going into the pathway of the Bulborbs. Surprisingly, they don't get eaten by the Bulborbs. But yeah, they went right into the Snagrets, so that's just really fun, and now I'm panicking, because if I mess this up, then the day is screwed pretty much. I may have to come back here all over again just to get this one part and waste an entire day, which I really don't want to do. I can't bring some of this other stuff back if I really wanted to, and I'm surprised that none of them got eaten by the bulborbs, which I was impressed at, to be honest. None of them got eaten by them, but I couldn't really bring any of the stuff back because, well, as soon as I get back to base, I believe like the 10 count is about to start, which, yeah, I really didn't like. The fact that there's a chance that there might be Pikmin that might be left behind because, well, these Pikmin would be birthed, but I don't plan on coming back to this area, so if I had to pluck a bunch of Pikmin in time right now, I was going to feel quite upset as well. But thankfully, for my sake, it got there when it got to 5 seconds left, which I was very, very happy that I was able to get this all done in a single day. I was super, super happy. Mind you, this was after day 5 where I wasn't exactly feeling great after that Wollywog incident that happened. So the fact that I was able to pull this off, and after the whole Snagret incident as well, I felt a lot better. Much, much better afterwards. And oh boy, the fact that I don't like Snagrets, man, I can't wait to deal with them in Pikmin 2. I can't wait to fight them in Pikmin 2. Oh god, I hate them in Pikmin 2. Ugh. But that at least won't be for a while. For now, I'm gonna feel satisfied in the fact that I cleared out the Forest of Hope in only 3 days, so we will never be coming back to this area again. A bit of a shame, since I do quite like its music, but we've got bigger and better things to do. 6 days since impact. I have managed to increase the range of the dolphin. Looking from the dolphin's portal as it launches even higher into the sky, I see a vast wetland in the deepest parts of the forest. I shall call it the Distant Spring. I can now begin my exploration of it tomorrow. For now, I must sleep. Yeah, I kind of accidentally spoiled what this area was going to be called in the last part, but now we know it's going to be the Distant Spring. But 13 Pikmin lost. I believe this is the most amount of Pikmin we have lost in a single day. That being said, we still raised 86, which is quite good. So at least that balances out the losses. Anywho, I'll be seeing you all for day 7. Ciao, Guardian, signing off. Ciao.